Good morning. I'd like to call the special meeting of the Board of Trustees to order. Trustee Kolecki, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Albanese, Mr. Kolecki present, Ms. Copeland, Mr. Delarada, Mr. Eckert, Dr. Ferrara, Mr. Pollack, Mr. Marsh, Ms. Timken,
Present.
Mr. Solomon, Mr. Evans, Ms. Menifee.
Thank you. Public notification of this special meeting was given as required by Ohio law and university policy. In accordance with Chapter 121.22, Section G of the Ohio Revised Code, the board has need to meet in executive session for the purpose of considering the employment and compensation of a public employee or official. I'd like to now call for a motion and a second to retire into executive session. Trustee Kolecki, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Kolecki, yes. Ms. Albanese? Mr. Delarada? Yes. Mr. Eckert? Yes. Mr. Pollack? Yes. Mr. Marsh? Ms. Timken?
Yes.
Unanimous for those present.
Thank you. We estimate that the executive session will be very brief. We will depart from this room and we will return, as I said, in approximately 15 minutes. Thank you. I'd like to reconvene the meeting of the Board of Trustees. Thank all of you for being here today. This is a historic day in the life of Kent State University. Our community has waited patiently for the presidential search to reach its conclusion, and I am delighted to announce that today is that day. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, the agenda is adopted by general consent. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached a very proud and important moment in the university history with the trustees' unanimous nomination of Dr. Beverly J. Warren as Kent State's 12th president. I am confident that we've found the perfect fit to continue Kent State's remarkable momentum and progress. First, on behalf of the board, I would like to thank the members of the Presidential Search Committee for your dedicated service. Will any of the members of the committee in attendance please stand? We are truly grateful for your service. I'd like you to thank you for allowing me to join you in your process, which was very thorough and rigorous. A special thanks to trustees Richard Marsh and Dennis Eckert for your wonderful leadership. Thank you. I would also like to thank the members of the university community and the public who took the time to share your thoughts and dreams for Kent State. It's truly gratifying to see the deep commitment to and belief in the future of our great university. And now, I'm delighted to call upon Trustee and Search Committee Chair Richard Marsh. Trustee Marsh, will present the nomination of Dr. Beverly J. Warren as the 12th president.
Thank you. This is indeed a happy and historic day at Kent State. You know, we've been very fortunate to have Dr. Lefton's dynamic leadership since 2006. And Lester brought a new sense of pride and purpose to Kent State and leaves a lengthy list of accomplishments. These include unprecedented periods of advancement and growth in enrollment, academic standards, and student retention and graduation, and overseeing increases in faculty and research excellence and formation of public-private partnerships that have transformed our campuses and our communities. Dr. Lefton leaves an impressive legacy, and we're enormously grateful for his dedication in advancing Kent State as a leader in higher education, both in Ohio and nationally. And Lester, you will be missed, and we thank you very much for your contributions. Since late summer, we've conducted an intensive nationwide search for Dr. Lefton's successor. A presidential search committee was formed and comprised 17 individuals from the university's major constituents, including faculty, deans, students, staff, trustees, and members of our greater community. The group worked extremely hard and very diligently, and I'm enormously dedicated to the committee for their time commitment, hard work, and wise counsel during this process. I also want to thank trustees Jane Timken and co-chair Dennis Eckert for their involvement and support during the search. And I also want to give a very special thanks and recognition to Charlene Reed and James Hardy, who were really the glue that helped hold this process together. So thank you so much for your help as well. When the search committee was formed, the charge from the Board of Trustees was very clear and direct, and that was to produce the best result possible for Kent State and settle for nothing less than excellence. And I'm happy to report today that we achieved that objective and proudly present the unanimous recommendation of Dr. Beverly J. Warren as the 12th president of Kent State University. Dr. Warren will be the right leader for Kent State and possesses an impressive background in higher education. She's an accomplished scholar, researcher, and academic leader who served in a number of increasingly responsible positions over her career, including professor, department chair, dean, and currently provost and senior vice president for academic affairs at Virginia Commonwealth University. Dr. Warren quickly stood out in a highly competitive field and is the sole nominee and has the unanimous support of the Board of Trustees. She's ideally suited to lead Kent State and to execute the agenda identified by the Board of Trustees. Bev is a proven leader with a great passion for academic success, diversity and inclusion, and innovation and research. In addition to her many accomplishments, Dr. Warren brings an open and inclusive leadership style and a warm and engaging personality. I'm sure students, faculty, and all members of the greater Kent community will find her to be a visionary and inspiring leader. It's my great privilege to present the unanimous recommendation of Dr. Bev Warren as 12th president of Kent State University beginning July 1st, 2014.
Thank you. And now I'd like to ask any other trustees if they have any other comments or.
Madam Chair, at our first search committee meeting, which seems like it was just yesterday, our expert, our consultant that we hired, and Rich walked through this incredibly lengthy exposition of what we were facing. A very competitive year in which many significant institutions of high quality all across this country were also seeking presidencies. A time of dramatic changes, particularly for public institutions, in the predicate upon which their financial and academic success was predicated, also being changed. Rich went on to talk about how we had, and with Willis's counsel, the constraints of being a public university and having a very collegial search process, which is in stark contrast to what many other universities in our own state are doing. And then I recall very clearly the process being outlined, and my God, it just seemed so intimidating. To the point at which one of the search committee members asked, and, well, what's your timetable for getting this done? And Rich said, now having outlined this horrific process of great deep due diligence,
Right.
that he hoped to get it done just about the time of the holidays. And I muttered under my breath, if we can do it by then, it'll be a cold day in hell. That became so true. As we welcome our new president to the sunny North Coast shores of Lake Erie. I will just briefly recapitulate what Rich and others I'm certain will have to say about Bev. When you examine her professional resume, you will see an incredible commitment to academic excellence. And of course, the banners hung in this room talk about excellence in action. And so when you will get a chance to work with Dr. Warren, you are going to immediately respect her. When you look at her life's experience in putting her academic excellence into practice, you are going to quickly come to the conclusion about how not only relevant she has made her academic experience, but her life's work to the enrichment of the young people and other professionals with whom she works. And so when you come in contact with President Warren, you are going to be inspired by her. But beyond that, when you get a chance to engage with her, you are going to find a personality that is so steeped in the deepest respect for the worth of each of us as individuals that you are going to immediately like her. Because for her life's experiences and her pursuit of academic excellence and the persona with which she has wrapped it, you realize quickly how an individual can come to reflect an institution. This was a very awesome task, probably something that personally I've enjoyed not so much as almost anything else that I have done, because of the incredible reward and the great happiness I think that we all feel by coming here today. So, Madam Chair, it's been an arduous, long-standing process. It is cold as hell outside, Rich, but I'm delighted to join Rich in seconding the motion on this resolution for the consideration of the board.
Any further discussion? Mr. Delarada.
I just wanted to say, as a board member who was not on the committee, once again, thank you very much for all your hard work, and we appreciate the fact that it was such an inclusive process, which is very important. The thing that really struck me most about Dr. Warren are the intangibles. And I think my fellow trustee Dennis Eckert referred to those, but I really found her to be a real advocate for the student, and that's what we're here for at the end of the day, is to serve the students and to help them begin fruitful lives and careers. I think she'll be a great partner with the faculty, who are obviously the backbone of this university. And I think she'll also continue the great momentum that Dr. Lefton has created here for us, and it's been it's really been a privilege to work with Dr. Lefton. But Bev is her own woman, and she has her own skills. She has big shoes to fill, but she's perfectly capable of doing it. And I can't tell you how excited I am about the next few years and hopefully some time with Dr. Warren. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask, are all in favor of the motion proffered by Trustee Marsh and seconded by Trustee Eckert? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion has been approved. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to recognize President-elect Dr. Beverly J. Warren as the next president of Kent State University. Dr. Warren, would you please stand and be recognized?
So speaking of big shoes to fill, I must step up a step so I can at least see over the row of the Board of Trustees. I can't begin to tell you what an exciting moment this is for me. It actually brings it into reality. This has been a discussion for a bit of time. I feel like jumping out of a gift box or something, but you will have to determine at some point in time what kind of gift that might be for you as a community. I will say this, a university is really formed by its people. And I have been so impressed with the people of Kent State University. I have much more to learn, and looking around this room, I know I have much more to learn, and I'm so gratified that so many individuals are very interested in the future of this institution. I want to thank the Board of Trustees for your confidence in me and the trust that you've invested in me. My pledge is a 24/7 high-energy commitment to this institution and to the ideals that I know you articulated to me and want to see the best future for this university. I want to thank Jane Temkin as board chair. I've never seen a chair with so much energy, so thorough, so energetic, and with a clear passion for Kent State University. And I will say that was a real draw for me to see the board so invested in the best future for this institution. Vice Chair Dennis Eckert, I can't begin to tell you the conversations we had and the discussions about what you saw as the best future of Kent State University and what keeps you coming back as a trustee was compelling and certainly made a difference in my thinking over time. Rich, in terms of your leadership of the search committee, I would say your gracious, inclusive style of leadership was something that again drew me from day one that Kent State University is a great place because of its people, because of how people work with one another. Even if we have differences, those differences can be articulated in a gracious manner, and you epitomize that for the search committee and for the board. So for all of those who have been a part of that and search committee members, I dare not say you made a great decision, but I will say I thank you for all of your effort and what you did in terms of your deliberation over time. We all owe a deep gratitude to President Lefton. I was attracted to this institution, Lester, because of what you have worked to build over the last 8 years. This is an institution on the rise, and I don't say that lightly. I come from a similar institution with similar aspirations, and I know the hard work that it takes for us to continue to move forward. Your work, your legacy, the kinds of commitment you had to not only growth, but academic quality, your commitment to making sure that the infrastructure of this university matched its intellectual talent, the fact that you really appreciate community engagement, all of those were tremendous draws that this is the right place to be. So we all owe you such a great gratitude. I will say that for me, this is the beginning of the moment. I have so much more to learn about Kent State University. There are at least 100 or so people in here who have points of view. There are at least 42,000 students who have a point of view. And there are many more faculty and staff from whom I need to learn what you believe is the hope, the promise, the dream of Kent State University. Because to me, what a president does is to articulate to the world your desires for your university. And that's what drew me to a presidency. I'm a happy provost at Virginia Commonwealth University. But the real excitement that I have is that you have, as a people, a real energy about you, a real commitment to who you are as a university. And I couldn't be more pleased to join you. I look forward to learning more. The good news is there are 6 months where we benefit from President Lefton, and I have the freedom then to learn more from you and to find out more from you what you are seeking, not only in a president of a university, but in what you want for Kent State. Our future is bright, and I can't wait to get started. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Warren. We truly appreciate all of your excitement. I think everyone in this room feels the same way. And I'd like to also make sure that we know that President Lefton has set the bar for such a great institution. Without his leadership, we would not be where we are today. He has transformed this university. And I'd like to have him take the opportunity to make a few comments on this momentous day.
Good morning, everybody. This is a great day. It's clear to me that it's another great day for Kent State. I'm really excited to have a moment to say a few words on this historic day for this university, for this community, for all of us, people who I've gotten to know so well over the last 8 years. In my remarks earlier this year to the Faculty Senate and in numerous alumni meetings that I've had around the country, I predicted that Kent State's outstanding programs and deeply held values, as well as the talented people who bring them to life every single day, would attract a very high caliber, dynamic leader to this position. Today, I think you can see I've been pleased to be proven right. Dr. Warren is really a superb choice for Kent State University. She brings a wealth of experience at several great universities. She's a widely respected scholar and leader alike. Of course, as provost of Virginia Commonwealth University, she has already demonstrated the pursuit of excellence at every level of the institution, making a distinctive mark on academic programs, research and scholarly productivity, as well, of course, as with community engagement. Her experience, her energy, her optimism, and her willingness to listen and learn are a fitting match for our community. I really have to acknowledge those whose efforts brought us to this important day. Rich, you just did a superb job as chair of the committee. Dennis, Jane, you served crucial roles in this search process and bringing it to its conclusion. Shar Reed and her able assistant James Hardy served a central and coordinating role that made it all happen. And ultimately, the Presidential Search Committee and the many members of our community who in ways large and small entered into this process. Knowing Kent State has a strategic map, a smart and dedicated leadership team, a distinguished and committed faculty, a highly skilled staff who every single day run this institution, a solid base of alumni support without whose financial support we would not be able to operate, and as a community, an unshakable commitment to academic excellence, the very core of what we are about. I know that I will be passing this torch of leadership with a confidence that the future of this magnificent institution is secure. I remember the exhilaration I felt as I waited to be introduced as Kent State's number 11 8 years ago. I know that Dr. Warren is beginning to feel the excitement and adrenaline sense of Kent State pride that I feel every day as I wake up to come into the office. Leading an institution like Kent State is a task worthy of people who have maturity, values, experience that challenge them to new levels, and it does so every single day of your presidency. I know that Dr. Warren is ready, willing, and far more than able. So today, Beverly Warren, is your day. It's Kent State's day. Let's all celebrate this university with affection and respect as we welcome Dr. Warren into our family. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, President Lefton. On a personal note, you will be greatly missed. It's because of your wonderful leadership. As I said before, this institution has transformed, and just thank you. So, I'd like to mark this momentous day with some gifts for our new president-elect, Dr. Warren, to transition you to be a golden flash. Would you like to? after all that excitement. The next meeting of the Board of Trustees will be Wednesday, March 12th, 2014, in the Urban Conference Room. I encourage everyone to join this day of celebration, beginning with the press conference here immediately following the meeting. A videotape of the press conference will be posted shortly after the completion of the university's homepage. And of course, there'll be an open reception for faculty, staff, students, and the public will be held today from 3 to 5 at the Schwabel Room, Kent State Center, Student Center. Please join us in welcoming I cannot speak today. Please join us in welcoming, it's the cold. Please join us in welcoming Dr. Warren to the Kent State University family. And now, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? The meeting is adjourned. And we're done.